Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time, hello. This is not your first time, welcome back. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can join me whenever I come live. Right now, we're going to be doing a live ClairTarot reading for Pisces. This is for the second half of July 2019, but Soul does not do Gregorian calendars or linear time. Whenever you stumble across this, if you be feeling those goosebumps, if it's resonating, the message is probably for you. So here we go. Let's get started. I asked Soul, what is this, like the general theme of this reading? So people will have an idea if they want to tune in or not. I was told their energy is intoxicating, but are they a part of your truth? So for the past few months, Pisces readings have been all about self-empowerment, focus on yourself. Whew. Oh my God. Now we're talking about intoxicating. Who is this? Let's see. Be gentle with me, soul. Be gentle with me. Don't be setting me up for some crazy ass reading. All right. Card number 19. Dream a beautiful dream. You've been getting messages a little bit here, a little bit there. Their messages, their divine guidance from soul that is trying to encourage you to release your resistance to things that are needing to happen. Now, Pisces, you're very stubborn. The stubbornness comes from this feeling of basically like being cheated in life just because you're so intuitive and you see different potentialities, and it's almost this feeling of it's unfair that I keep getting the potentiality that's not the one I wanted. And that happens because the one you wanted isn't always the best one for you. Okay, this applies to everybody. Okay, so you have to understand that card number 31, trust yourself. Creation is backing you up. Everything in creation is conspiring for you to succeed in ways that you don't even realize you've been keeping yourself from. Okay, card number 25, release the dark wound, let love live. So one of you says, I've released, I promised. What have you released? Superficial things? Or that deep, dark wound that's way, way, way deep down in there, close to your core? Many of us don't want to look at what's going on in our core just because it's so scary. All of this unknown contained within a vast ocean full of trenches. We don't know what's in there. And then we exist in a society that tells us any type of dark is evil. Any type of dark is just, that's a lie. Not all darkness is evil, okay? Most darkness actually is not. But what we need to do is let go of the things that just need to be let go. Not what we think no longer serves us, not what we think we've held on to unnecessarily. This is like a full submission to soul, where you're just letting soul be the one. You're just letting soul be the one to decide what needs to be taken away. All right, let's go ahead and pull more cards. Let's see. All right. Let us see. There's a whole bunch of magic up in here. All right. So first you got the 10 of Staves, Wands. This is about excessive pressures, problems soon to be resolved, possibly using power for selfish ends. Pisces. We're very intuitive and also very stubborn. So this is kind of telling me that we're using our intuition to perpetuate the effects of our stubbornness. Meaning if we detect serendipity is about to take place and we want to avoid a certain circumstance or individual, we then take the steps to avoid that because we know what's coming. This is not going to work in our favor though. Okay. The next card, 3 of Staves in reverse, assistance with an ulterior motive, diminishing adversity. So your soul is not going to take much more of this. It's not going to take much more. It's going to drag you through the bushes by your hair. Pisces, you have to submit to the will of soul. It's going to be very difficult because it's going to feel unfair, but trust me, you don't want to get dragged through the mother freaking bushes. Okay. Next card is Justice in reverse. This is about bias, false accusations, bigotry, severity in judgment, intolerance, unfairness, abuse. Didn't I tell you? Soul is about to drag you through the bushes. It's going to feel very unfair. It's going to feel abusive. But we're kind of leaving our souls no other choice. If we're going to refuse to submit, we're going to get dragged. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get dragged soon. Pretty sure of it. The next card is the Empress. This is about feminine progress, fruitfulness, accomplishment, marriage, children, feminine influence, ability to motivate others. Now, you're part of the group that needs to be motivated to comply with the wishes of soul. That's funny. So the Empress holds a peony in her hand, standing in front of a crest of phoenix. No matter what, you're going to rise. From your ashes, from someone else's ashes, from the ashes of the city you just burnt down, you're going to rise, okay? You have phoenix energy. But the significance of the peony is often lost to people. Peony is not just some delicate flower. In ancient times, peonies were used as part of exorcism rites. It's a heavily protective essence. And you're turning away from your own protection. You're so afraid to burn that you're turning away from the crest and the flower. What are you turning towards? Do you know? Do you know what you're turning towards? Looking all graceful and shit. You're turning towards the 9 of Staves. It's right here. Right here. This expectation of difficulties and changes, deception, a pause in a current struggle. So, man, we're about to go into some overtime. This is going to be very difficult, Pisces, these next few weeks, especially with Mercury being in retrograde. Did it already start? Man, fucking Mercury. Sick of your shit, Mercury. Get you guys other cards. Fuck Mercury. Sorry. All right. Let's get you more cards. You got to make sure you don't make major decisions in the next few weeks. That's going to be, it's really going to be not good. It's going to be all emotions, all wanting to hide and rebel and stubbornness, and you're not going to win a fight against yourself. Let's just see. Now is the time. Now it is time to be open to what will be. Embrace your destiny, beloved. It's calling you forward, even while it's hurtling towards you. Your time is now. He's about to get dragged through the bushes, boo-boo. Let's go ahead and pull some of these cards, because now I'm wanting to know. I want to know. I want to know. So I can avoid it. I'm joking. I'm not avoiding shit. Gosh. Hold on, guys. Let's get Pisces more cards. I have no comment, but I'm told to show you guys when I cut the cards. Okay. I have no opinion on that. Let's just see. Oh my God. And then Soul tells me Lee's about to get fucked up. This is hilarious. So this is a card that I pulled a few minutes ago, right? Now is the time. So we're like trying to keep ourselves, no, we don't want to go down that way. No, don't. And then we got dragged. Change is in the air. Sometimes we take things for granted and forget to stop and realize how incredible the ordinary things can be. Growth does often seem improbable, yet it happens every day in many ways. So too is something growing in your life that seems at the moment unlikely or impossible, yet it will happen anyway. Have faith, trust your feelings, and relax. Change is in the air. Well, here's the other thing. So I picked that up. I'm like, shit, dragging us through the bushes. You know. Well, here's a card beneath that. Unpredictable grace. It is not lack of courage that makes you question the path before you sometimes. It's uncertainty. There's no need to doubt, just steps to take, one after the other. And as you do this, all can then unfold as it must, with a blessing of my powerful, if unpredictable grace. So we go from like being dragged, cartwheels. Okay, cartwheels. And at this point, we're even skipping. Okay, be bold. If we have been taught to always settle for less than what we dream of, we may wonder if living a boldly optimistic life is unrealistic. But you are an adventurer, a divine explorer on the wild path of life. You have been created with those bold dreams in your heart, and you are meant to fulfill them with a loving encouragement and supportive life. Now, the first couple cards that we pulled, dream a beautiful dream. Dream something bold, okay? Pisces, let go of those rotten limitations. These are the things that have kept you from really recognizing the greatness that you are. And once you recognize some greatness, you'll understand the creation is backing you up. Their energy is intoxicating, but it's intoxicating you in such a way that's bringing you full circle back to yourself. So you didn't want to do it. You got dragged to do it. Then you're somersaulting and now you're skipping. So everything's going to happen the way it should. Don't be afraid of how it unfolds. Just allow it to unfold. Okay. Fuck it. Mess. It's a mess, you guys. It's a mess. All right. It's a fucking mess. I don't want to pull any more cards. All right. So you have the Daughter of Pentacles. This tells me often you don't really have to worry. You're just unnecessarily nervous and anxious, just like a deer looking around, thinking something bad's going to happen. Oh, but you got a Tower card. You got a Tower card. That's self-explanatory. And then it puts you into somewhat of a dark night of the soul phase, where all you seem to be is a shadow of who you once were. All your colors, all your energy is being directed downwards, being hidden away. And don't freak out, okay? Don't freak out. You got the Wheel of Fortune. Everything is going to turn. What does the wheel do? It turns. So everything that seems like shadow and darkness and like glum eventually turns and becomes all nice and bright and colorful again. And then at that point, you recognize how powerful you actually are. Okay. And you become a light in the darkness for others. You have to be immersed in that darkness in order for you to understand the gravity of your light. But also, you got the Three of Cups. Someone in this equation has someone else already. And with the reverse, I'm kind of getting the feeling like this is a mutual thing. You know, this is whatever it is that's going on that you're being dragged towards. It's seeming like this is a mutual thing. And it's about to not be a third-party circumstance anymore. I don't know if it's you that's going to be releasing, but whoever gets released is not going to take that lightly. They're going to be out for blood. So make sure you got all your geese in a row, because you got the Mother of Cups. Block that shit. Don't allow any of that into your space. I'm dizzy. And this is a lot of like intense information and energy. Let me get you guys a card from your soul. So I Am Ether says Spirit needs to understand that it's not resistance per se, but more respect for the other people's boundaries. No, it's resistance. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. It's not respect for boundaries. That's an excuse. That's what soul is telling me. I'm sorry. It's an excuse. Boundaries, unless enforced, are nothing but meaningless lines in the sand. Is it your boundary or is it the other person's boundary? Because you're partially expressing your truth, you're partially living your truth. And if your truth involves another individual and you're using boundaries as a reason to not explore it, then that's an excuse. It's another reason why you're going to go against the will of soul. Soul doesn't give a damn about human constructs. It doesn't care about society's standards of what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. I mean, based on current society, what I'm doing right now is not appropriate. You know, I mean, I went and started an account with, what was it, Stripe or whatever. I don't even remember what payment processor it was. And then they messaged me and they were like, sorry, your line of work isn't appropriate and we can't offer you we can't offer you payment processing. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean inappropriate? Oh, we don't do that type of category. Okay. But I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just that you have to call it out for what it is. It's an excuse as to why you're going to choose to disrespect your own soul. I do it. I do it. I'm not judging you. I do it. I constantly tell my soul, you need to shut the F up. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not calling anyone. No, I'm not going anywhere. It's fine. But you just have to be honest with yourself. An excuse is an excuse. So expressing how you feel for someone who is married, are you just expressing it, or are you expressing it with an expectation of them to cater to your wants? Because there's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. For you to express something, I mean, I've had someone express things to me before, and it was like, okay, well, thank you for letting me know. And then you move forward. Like, I'm not going to pursue you. Thank you for letting me know. You're not going to disrespect me and continue to try and pursue me, so we can be buddies. That's fine. But if you're going to express this with the expectation of them like, oh my God, okay, so now I have to go and run off with you, that's something completely different. That's not just speaking your truth. That's speaking your truth so that you can further attaining that expectation, which might not be in accordance with what your soul wants. The human mind doesn't always comprehend exactly what the soul wants. It thinks it does. I stopped thinking about that long ago, because every time I think I understand, soul makes sure that I know that I don't understand. It's now 2:22. Awesome. We got card number 2, passion for purpose. Ooh. So what's your what is your expectation in regards to response if you do express that to a married person? Are you expressing that to a married person because as someone from the outside looking in, you see that that marriage is doomed and you don't think that they should continue in that marriage? Or, I mean, why are you expressing it? Just to express yourself, but what happens after that? What do you think happens after that? And then whatever answer you have, that's how you determine exactly what it is you're trying to do. Does that make sense? Yeah, it is up to the recipient. You're absolutely right. It's up to the recipient. And it becomes kind of difficult because the whole construct of marriage is just weird. Coming from someone married for 20 years, it's just weird to me. I wouldn't have, I don't believe in marriage, which is weird, right? I do believe in monogamy. Should everyone be monogamous? That's up to you. For me personally, I prefer monogamy. I'm a very selective monogamist. And it's, I don't know, but what is your expectation if you're throwing in the married factor? You know? So card number 2, passion for purpose. Love, like life, flows through the heart. Feel the thrill of the flow and say nothing. I am Ether. I think you just got your message. Do you yearn to find your way, to fulfill your divine destiny, to know the purpose for your presence within this sacred body of the Earth Mother? Your heart is questioning for deeper meaning. It desires certainty as to your sacred task for this lifetime. Your heart wants to know why you were born. For what purpose? You must know that the answer to these questions is love. I bring you your answer straight from the heart of the universe. Be wild within your passion. Do that which stirs your soul, even when it makes you uncomfortable, especially then. For what is being truly alive if not a decision to be open instead of resistant, to be wild rather than comfortable? So that at any moment we will be ready for the invitation of the divine beloved to come closer. I call to you now, the you that is beyond your mind, the you that the heart knows, the you that cannot deny life. To that you, I ask this question: what stirs the passions of your nature? Do that. Be that. As we grow on the spiritual path, so too does our ability to serve life, to serve love, to honor humanity, and to offer a contribution that is unique to us, that could only flow in this particular way through the quality of our own soul light. Every light holds its own beauty, and every light has a particular task to fulfill on the divine path of life. To help us remember this, lest we get too easily distracted by the pain and stress that happens in life, we were given a built-in reminder. That reminder is our passion. We may think that passion is not particularly practical. We may feel fearful that with passion there are no guarantees of success, or that we may even be throwing away a stable and secure life to pursue our passion. These are the fears of many a modern society, yet they are so misplaced. Life supports all beings based on their true nature. The birds are given air in which to fly, and fish are given water in which to swim. Plants are given light of the open plains or darkness of the damp rainforest, depending on their needs for growth. Different flowers flourish in different environments. Bees have wings that are very small but powerful enough to move with such speed and rotation that their heavy bodies can fly. Each aspect of creation is given what it requires so it may become what it is meant to be for its unique destiny to be fulfilled. So, to answer you, I am Ether. If you're not following what Soul is saying, sometimes it's your presentation of this truth to that individual that will help them recognize whether they actually want to stay or whether they want to go. And it's not really you that's going to be deciding. You're kind of just that catalyst. Remember, you said you're a catalytic factor in other people's spiritual journeys. I don't want to share that. Mm-mm. No. All right. So, let's see. Ooh. No, I'm not going to share it because some things on my journey are just for me. It's in this moment that I'm showing myself the same kind of love that I would show the entire group, where I would encourage you to speak, but not at your own detriment. Mhm. No. And I will say this. I will say that the reason I'm not sharing this detail is because it unnecessarily hurts the other person. You know, it unnecessarily hurts them. And I think I've gotten to a point at this part where I think it's enough. Like, I don't want to hurt you anymore, you know? So I no. All right, let's get you guys one final card. Let's see. Ooh, look at you, boo-boo. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. All right. Okay. Card number 42, Turquoise Lotus Mother. Turquoise Lotus Mother brings precious healing to you now. Allow yourself to be lifted out of your struggle. An old pattern is finally in its death throes, something that weighed heavily on you from your past. This can be one of the most testing times to allow something to go, just when it seems to be so demanding of your time, focus, and attention. Yet do not doubt, you have actually learned the lessons it required of you, and now you're being blessed with an opportunity to receive karmic healing. There are some lessons in our process of spiritual growth that cut right to the core of our being, that challenge us so deeply that even as we learn the lessons and practice the wisdom, we can still struggle to outgrow the grip of the pattern. No matter how hard we try, we might not feel that we're ever going to be able to completely release the challenge. And no matter how much we grow, there is still a thread of the past that hangs on. We need a spiritual rescue remedy if we are ever to be free of the clutches of this persistent pain. The compassionate and spiritually powerful nature of Ma Kuan Yin as a turquoise lotus mother seeks to bless you with karmic healing so that you may be lifted from your struggles and can simply leave them behind you now. Your soul has learned what it needed from the situation, and it has asked for a divine hand up so that it might continue on its divine path of growth without unnecessary karmic weight pulling it down. Listen to your guidance now. Notice if you feel inspired to visit a healer. Listen repeatedly to particular healing music. Go to a class or meditate at home at a particular time or just more often. These are attempts by the Divine Mother to reach you through available channels. Divine blessings of karmic healing can flow from the spiritual world directly to your soul, but oftentimes they are more effective when coming through a human channel of a high vibrational level directly into your energy field on the physical plane. Be as open as you can be to guidance to allow the divine karmic healing of turquoise lotus mother to reach you. Her turquoise nature cleanses and protects your energy field, and her lotus heart shines through to your own heart, bringing you peace. The Divine Mother within her simply wishes to nurture you in greater spiritual freedom. This oracle also indicates that if you have been working with crystals and turquoise in particular, to continue to do so, as it is empowering for you and is helping you to heal whatever you are completely conscious of or not. Whether you're completely, I can't even talk. Whether you're completely conscious of it or not. Like, do you guys see what just happened right there? Mm. Hmm. Did you see that, Elma? You can let it go and allow yourself to heal. And in that healing, you don't just heal yourself, you heal everyone involved, whether it be the people who are involved in the circumstance, the people who are witnessing the circumstance, the people who later are witnessing a recounting of the circumstance. There's no need to continue hurting yourself, hurting other people. What's done is done. It's just done. And then you move forward. You move forward, you grow, and you let that weight gracefully sink deeper into the depths. Not to be forgotten, but to be consumed and then transmuted back to neutral. These weights that we carry with us through so many lives, that hurt repeating over and over, you hurt me, so I hurt you, so you hurt me, so I hurt you, so you hurt me, so I hurt you. And what's that gotten you? And at some point, one of you has to stand up and just be like, no, hurt me all you want, but it doesn't hurt anymore. I'm not going to reflect that. I'm going to cultivate my environment. And if you want to join me in this environment, you're going to have to rise up with me. I'm not lowering myself, not because I think going lower is a downgrade of some sort, but because I love you so much, I want you to rise with me. And when you can understand that, and even in my saying, no, I'm not going to talk about that, I wasn't fully comprehending it until it was written in black and white. And that's how soul works. When you finally get out of your own way, your answers come to you just like that. Just like that. And there's no questioning. I'm not even going to question, like, was that really the answer? No, that was the answer. That was a conversation my soul was having with me. Mm. I'm told to say love does not cut. Love surrenders. Is it love of self to cut left and right? Those are movements of war. And just as the Crusades were an act of war on humanity, disguised as religion, cutting the cords, is that an act of war? An act of love? Is it fear-driven? Cords, they connect to separate beings. I make the analogy often of how cords between you and another are just like the cord between a mother and child. Does the mother cut the cord? Originally, no. We're taught separation on such a deep level that when you give birth as a mother and you're splayed out and vulnerable, something else severs that connection. Oftentimes before that connection was ready to be severed. If you're familiar with natural childbirth, then you would know the cord is to remain intact until it's done pulsating. All those stem cells contained within that placenta are still being pumped into this baby. The mother is non-giving. Even after birth, the mother is not done giving, is not done loving. So is cutting the cords an act of aggression? Fear-fueled aggression. Because is the mother afraid she's going to die and bleed out if she doesn't cut the cord immediately after the baby's born? That placenta is contained. Unless there's a circumstance, that placenta is contained and it is birthed after the child, after everything the mother is willing to give is given. Mad Mike, you are mad, and I'm not angry or triggered. You don't have the power to affect me in that way. You too, War Pig. I won't delete your comments. That's a testament to your energy, to your lack of grace and understanding. And I won't hold it against you that you don't get it. But in this moment, I sit in my truth and I recognize how soul is speaking to me and to you through me and my experiences. So if they need to be removed, these people that are needing to have the cords cut, they will be. Just like when the child is ready to be removed, it is birthed. Everything in life will change. Change is the only constant. And regardless of how intoxicated you are by the presence of another, when it's time for them to be removed, they will. And oftentimes they're removed as you birth yourself. As you rebirth yourself into a higher, more elevated level of consciousness, they'll naturally be removed. And sometimes that natural removal is not, you know, a fight or an argument. They just won't resonate anymore, and they won't be able to affect you no matter how hard they try. Just like the ugly comments, it doesn't affect me. You're not at my resonance, and I will not hold that against you. Your truth has nothing to do with mine. There is a boundary that was created, and it's enforced by grace. We don't have to show up to every single war that we're invited to, no matter how much they beg. That's the most beautiful thing about sovereignty. You are that powerful. You don't have to react. You can rise in your personal power and choose to respond. Be unmoved. And that's difficult to do if you're not rooted in your truth. And this might be why it's so difficult for me to read other people's writings that are about spirituality, like books and things like that, instruction on it. It's very, very difficult because once you begin doing that, you begin using other people's soils to root yourself in. Even in relationships, you begin to root yourself in other people's soils. And what if their soil can't sustain you? What if it's the wrong mix of nutrients, the wrong consistency? What happens to you? A soil that's perfect for someone else is not always compatible with yours. It's not always something that's going to help nurture your needs, your roots. And the only one responsible for your roots are you. Um, so I think at this point, it's really, really important. We no longer choose to just react. We no longer choose to remain intoxicated and inebriated by other people's energies and intentions. I think it's time for us to move with grace, with intention, to move in a very confident manner, whether that be forwards, sideways, backwards, it's irrelevant. Just the movement of it. Just keep moving. It can be a beautifully graceful dance if you allow it to be. Or it could be like a death match. That's up to you. But it's the movement that's key. That's how you continue to build your energy, the kinetic movement. That's what charges the batteries of soul, that movement. So allow yourself to charge. Allow yourself to really, really become aware of what it is you're participating in. Whether it be in private circumstance or something more public, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Right, cartwheels and skipping. Exactly. Exactly. And it's not about pretending that you aren't bothered, pretending you're this or pretending you're that. Like in that moment a few minutes ago, I really was not bothered. And as a matter of fact, thank you to Mad Mike and his friends because you volunteered to be made an example of. It was your intention that I used as my fuel for my rise. You see what happened there? I used you. You volunteered to be used. And I used you to further my compassion for myself. It was not evil. It was not selfish. It was a loving, responsible, and evolved choice that I made. We're not here to be a doormat. But we also have to recognize we don't have to prove how powerful we are, how worthy we are to people who are hell-bent on convincing others that we aren't. That's their problem. That's not ours. You set your worth. Okay? People can agree or not, but you set your worth. It's just like when you go to a store, you look at the price tag. If you agree, you buy it. If you don't, you keep moving. And that's perfectly fine. The clothing doesn't start crying. The workers don't start crying. You just move forward. Right. Not a doormat and not cutting. Just being. That's it. That's it. Do you see the amount of power it takes to just, no, I'm not going to join that. No. I'm not going to pretend I'm not mad. I'm just really not mad. I'm not afraid. I don't feel threatened. I don't need to get out my machete and start hacking away at things. Whatever comes to my path, it comes as fuel for my rise. Does that mean I'm going to use people? No. Does that mean I'm going to take advantage of others? No. It means I will utilize what is in my path in the most compassionate way, first for myself and then for others. It's time we rise. It's time we allow those who volunteer to be fuel to be used as fuel. We are not victims. We are not survivors. We are badass motherfucking thrivers. We will not be intimidated. We will not be silenced. We will not be forced to show acts of aggression that are not in alignment with who and what we are. Does that mean we will allow ourselves to be doormats? Fuck no, it doesn't. It means I'm going to choose what's right for me, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to finally be free with no shame, no guilt, no none of that. No, none of that. So you guys, I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications, join me every single time I go live. I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.